Lesson 1, Let's Make a Cat Dance. Part 1. First, look at the program you will create in this lesson. In this lesson, you'll learn how to move the cat by programming in ScratchJr. Can you find a cat icon on the tablet? If you find the cat icon, let's tap on it. An app called ScratchJr will open. When the app opens, tap the button which looks like a house. What's called the home screen will appear. If you see the home screen, tap the button with a plus sign. A project of ScratchJr opens. By programming in ScratchJr, you can create animations and games. Today, let's create a program which makes a cat dance. Before you start programming, please look at the project I made. Tap the green flag button to start the program. Can you see the cat dancing after you tap the green flag button? Actually, it was dancing as a result of programming. Let's create a program to make the cat dance. Look at me carefully because I'll tell you how to make the cat dance. These are the programming blocks. We'll combine these blocks to create a program. First, tap the yellow block in the block categories. Can you see the blocks in the block palette turned yellow? Put the Start on Green flag block in the programming area. If you touch the block with your finger and drag it down slowly, you can move it to the programming area. Next, tap the blue block in the block categories. Can you see the blocks in the block palette turned blue? If you put one of the blue blocks next to the Start on Green flag block, the cat will move or jump. Let's put your favorite blue blocks more next to the Start on Green flag block. When you finish creating the program, tap the green flag button at the top right of the stage and run the program. Yay! The cat was moved by the program. Then, tap the number under the block. The buttons with numbers will appear at the bottom right of the screen. Tap a button with your favorite number. The number under the block will change. Let's change the numbers of other blocks. If you have changed the numbers, let's tap the green flag button and run the program. Wow! The cat moved differently from the last time. Now, let's try programming. For this time, please use only the blue blocks. Programming time, stop the video and take your time to create your own program. Lesson 1, Let's make a cat dance Part 2. Did you manage to program the cat to dance? But, the background of the stage is still white. Please look at me carefully because I'll tell you how to change the background. When you want to change the background, tap the Change Background button here. There are many kinds of backgrounds. Tap your favorite background twice. Or tap your favorite background once. And then tap the check mark. The background of the stage has changed. It's your turn to change the background. Programming time. Stop the video and take your time to create your own program. Lesson 1, Let's make a cat dance Part 3. Did you manage to change the background? Next, I'll tell you how to make new characters, so look at me carefully. When you want to add a character, tap the button with a plus sign here. The character page opens. Either tap your favorite character twice. Or tap your favorite character once. And then tap the check mark. The character has just been added to the project. Now, let's try adding a new character. Programming time. Stop the video and take your time to create your own program. Lesson 1, Let's make a cat dance Part 4. Did you manage to add the character? The program you made earlier has disappeared. But don't worry. Let's tap the cat thumbnail. The program you've just made has reappeared. In ScratchJr, we make programs for each character. Therefore, in the program area of the character you added earlier, there was no program. Next, tap the thumbnail of the added character. The programming area program is gone. Then, let's create a program to move the added character. Programming time. Stop the video and take your time to create your own program. Lesson 1, Let's make a cat dance part 5. Did you manage to create a program for the character you added? Next, let's show the program you made to your friends. It's good to see your friends' programs and to get some advice from them. Please look at the other programs I made. This is a dance of tick, tock, and the cat. This is the program of the cat. When you tap the flag, it moves 1 square to the right, and move 1 square to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves down 3 squares, and moves up 3 squares, and rotates to the right for 12, and jumps 2 squares high, and rotates to the left for 12, and jumps 2 squares high. This is the program of tick. When you tap the flag, it jumps 6 squares high, and jumps 6 squares high, and jumps 6 squares high. This is the program of tock. It moves up 2 squares, and jumps 4 squares high, and jumps 4 squares high, and rotates to the left for 12. Here, a grandpa and a grandma are dancing. This is the program of the grandpa. When you tap the flag, he moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 2 squares to the right, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 1 square to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high. This is the program of the grandma. When you tap the flag, she moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 2 squares to the right, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 1 square to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high. The programs of the grandpa and the grandma are the same. Here, an alien is dancing. This is the program of tick. When you tap the flag, it moves 2 squares to the right, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 2 squares to the right, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high. This is the program of tack. When you tap the flag, it moves 5 squares to the right, and moves 5 squares to the left, and moves 5 squares to the right, and moves 5 squares to the left. This is the program of tock. When you tap the flag, it rotates to the right for 12, and rotates to the left for 12, and rotates to the right for 12, and rotates to the left for 12. Here, animals are dancing. This is the program of the chicken. When you tap the flag, it moves 3 squares to the right, and moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 3 squares to the right, and moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high, and moves 3 squares to the right, and moves 2 squares to the left, and jumps 2 squares high. This is the program of the frog. When you tap the flag, it jumps 4 squares high, and moves 1 square to the right, and jumps 4 squares high, and moves 1 square to the left, and jumps 4 squares high, and moves 1 square to the right, and jumps 4 squares high. This is the program of the monkey. When you tap the flag, it moves down 3 squares, and moves 20 squares to the right, and moves up 3 squares, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high, and jumps 2 squares high. Did my programs give you some inspiration? If you want to remake your own program, please continue programming. Programming time. Stop the video and take your time to create your own program. Lesson 1, Let's Make a Cat Dance Part 6. If you finish making the program, let's make a presentation with it. I'll make a presentation first, so please look at me carefully. When you run the program as a presentation, tap the button of presentation mode on the screen to make the program larger. I'm KIDSPRO. I'm going to make a presentation. I made a program in which a grandma and a grandpa were dancing. I'll start the program. Do you have any question?
Yes. How did you make the grandma and the grandpa move in the same way?
To make them move the same way, I created the same program for the grandma and the grandpa. That's all for my presentation. Like this way, please make your own presentation. In a presentation, you say your name at first, and you tell the title of the program. You run the program. Then, you ask the audience if they have questions. If they have questions, you answer them. Finally, you end the presentation by saying that's all for my presentation. When you ask a question, please raising your hand. If you don't have any question, please tell the friend the good points that you found about the presentation. Presentation time. Stop the video and let's make a presentation with your program. For children who are not confident enough to give a presentation, a teacher can do so instead or together with them. All of you did a great job. Having done the presentation, we came to the end of this lesson. Let's make a cat dance.